Here we go.
There's no title bigger than this.
It is great to be back.
Welcome to the Worlds.
Wow.
Just superb.
Grit and determination.
Does her. Gets it done.
What darting entertainment this is.
Brilliant finishing.
And he saves his skin.
Pummeling the trebles again. Oh, he's in again.
There it is.
Nathan Haspel's fired up.
Composure and skill.
Oh, magnificent from Van Gerwen.
He's up there to prove a point.
And this time, Peter gets it right. It's all right on the night at the Alexandra Palace.
Hello and welcome to On The Wire. This is Alexandra Palace, home of the William Hill World Darts Championship. I'm Dan Dawson, this is Chris Murphy, and we are seeing players making it through to the quarterfinals. Not all of them doing so with a minimum of fuss, Murph. Shall we talk about last night?
Let's
talk about last night. Well, first off, we saw the third round completed. Dave Chisnell, Danny Noppert in the rubbish nickname Derby. No, he's not even called Noppert anymore, is he? Mr. Freeze. The Freeze?
For Ali Pally today, but
yeah, absolutely.
It was Dave Chisnell who was hot yesterday, wasn't it? Noppert winning the first couple of sets, but then Chisnell, after a slow start, getting his act together and getting the job done.
Yeah, 6 legs in a row at the start of the match for Danny Noppert, only won 2 of the next 14. Chizzy kind of running away with it. Do you think that Chiz is a threat this year?
Probably not. I've not seen enough good stuff from Dave Chisnell in comparison to what we've seen from the likes of Michael Van Gerwen and a couple of other players who've put in brilliant performances. I think Chisnell has done very, very well to get this far. I'm not sure how much further he will get.
I think he's been actually very good. However, then we launched ourselves into the last 16. This Euro clash between Gabriel Clemens and Krzysztof Ratajski. Look at that, 3 sets all, 2 legs all, and this is going to go down to double one for the pair. This is like you and me playing Murph.
3 minutes of highlights for this one. All of them when both players are throwing for the match. 7 match darts missed each in the last leg. Ratajski had missed a couple before. Incredibly tense stuff. I don't know how the last dart even went in.
Well, look at this. My favourite thing about this is Krzysztof Ratajski, who's going to step up here to try and win this game. Like, look at them. They're up and down the walkway there. It's absolutely absorbing. He's nearly at flipping Laura Wood's chair by that point. But even when the winning double goes in, look, Krzysztof Ratajski can't even collapse properly. He nearly does himself some serious damage on the ocket. I do not know how he managed to hit this. I was exhausted watching this game. This is the 16th consecutive hold of throw. And look at that, he's gone. Oh, hang on. It's amazing.
Well, that's
absolutely amazing.
Twice on that stage last night that he failed to collapse properly, isn't it, Dan? Because he didn't do it in the match. Clemens let him off. And when he tried to celebrate there, I mean, that was amazing in one way. This was amazing in a totally different way.
Yeah, look, I mean, it was absorbing, that Clemens-Ratajski game, and I absolutely loved it. This was absolutely mind-boggling, though, because Joe Cullen had Van Gerwen. He had him. He equalled the record for the number of 180s in a 7-set game. He was 3-1 up in that one, and somehow Van Gerwen managed to turn it around. Not without surviving a couple of match darts, it has to be said. Could have ended 4-2, could have ended 4-3 in Cullen's favour. Did the win go to the rightful owner, do you believe?
I think you kind of have to say yes. I think Joe Cullen, well, I do. I am saying yes. But Joe Cullen, I think that is the match, or could be the match, that elevates him into the world's elite. We've seen potential from Joe Cullen for a long time. Yes, because I believe, as Michael Van Gerwen said himself, that he can learn from that. If he takes it in the right way and doesn't look back in anger, Joe Cullen can say, look, I've taken the best player in the world all the way, could have and perhaps should have beaten him. He will see it that way. But you have to just take a moment to think how good Michael Van Gerwen is. If Cullen led 3-1, hit 19 180s and still only got 2 darts at the bullseye to beat him.
Well, look, it kind of reminded me of that Whitlock-Van Gerwen game. Was it the Grand Slam where Whitlock broke the record for 180s there? And he won it, but he had to survive match darts and Michael Van Gerwen. He's been in 2 very similar games, and he's won one, he's lost one. Sometimes you just need a bit of luck, don't you?
And at the end of the match, a highlight we saw, that was the crutch of the problem for Joe Cullen, not being able to do it at the crunch time, the very last leg of the match. He didn't hit a treble. A lot to do with the fact that Michael van Gerwen opened it against the throw with a maximum.
Yeah, it must have been like getting stabbed, which is an analogy Joe Cullen has used himself with referring to big shots at crucial times in games of darts. Well, that put 2 players through to the quarterfinals. 3 more joined them this afternoon here at Ali Pali on day 13. We started with Daryl Gurney, who was not as impressive as he's been so far in the tournament, but seemed to win all the big moments against Vincent van der Voort, or the vast majority of them anyway.
Yeah, we will see Vincent here, an attempt on this 1-3-5 that could have taken it into a last set decider, finding the 25, then the treble 20 and just missing the ball there. And it could have been different. Vincent, a little unfortunate at times. Daryl Gurney kind of did what he had to do in that one, and that's what you have to do to go a long way in this tournament.
Yeah, well look, Daryl Gurney, he's not really played anything like his capabilities since the UK Open in terms of big stage darts, but he's really turned up at this tournament, and it's a 3rd decent performance from him. This was absolutely incredible. Stephen Bunting missed 6 darts to go 3-0 up in this one. He should have been cruising. Ryan Searle was the better player for the second half of the match, and he was 2-0 up in the deciding set, and yet Bunting produced a sort of Scott Waits-like performance to win 3 legs in a row, perfect finishing with his opponent on 1 or 2 darters in each of those final 3 legs, and nick it right away at the death.
Yeah, I kind of have to praise both players here for the way that they kind of kept going in this match. Even here, Ryan Searle hits a 170 to leave himself on 16 with Bunting taking aim, and hits it straight away for the match, Stephen Bunting. Very, very interesting section of the draw. It already was, but it'll be Bunting or Ratajski for a place in the semi-finals of the World Championship. An excellent opportunity, I think, for Stephen Bunting, because Ratajski, though he's been winning, has been far from his best.
True, I actually think that's the best display we've seen from Stephen Bunting so far in the tournament. Good omens for the bullet. Now, Devon Peterson never really got going against Gary Anderson. Even so, he probably should have won 1 or 2 sets. He missed darts, but Gary Anderson's had a very easy time of it today to come through that in straight sets.
Yeah, twice in sets Devon Peterson led 2-0. Anderson came back to win them 3-2 and claimed a straight sets victory there. Gary wanted an opponent to let him play, and I think Devon did let him play. Now, should Devon Peterson have employed some dark arts in that match, the result suggests that he might have got a better result had he done so.
Well, I mean, we said yesterday, specifically you, Devon, slow him down. He didn't like it against Mensah. He nearly threw the game away. We have spoken to Gary Anderson this afternoon. At the end of the show, we're going to play you the whole interview because it's very, very fascinating. I didn't even ask him about opponents slowing him down, but he just launched into this tirade about it. But before we do that, let's have a look what we've got coming up tonight, because you've got 3 men through to the quarterfinals this afternoon, joining Michael van Gerwen and Christoph Ratajski. The last 8 lineup will be confirmed tonight. Now, this fascinating clash between Dirk van Duijvenbode and Glenn Durrant, with a winner to take on Gary Anderson. Dirk van Duijvenbode is the very, very narrow favourite, or he was this morning with the sponsors. I think that's almost a bit disrespectful to the Premier League champion, who played brilliantly in the last round.
I would agree, and had you asked me who would win this match a few days ago, I would have said Dirk absolutely nailed on to it. But what we saw from Glenn, I did, but I'm changing my mind because of what we saw from Glenn Durrant in the last match, and I think he's fighting his way back to form, and what a time to do it. I think that if he gets in a scrap, he'll win it, because that's what Glenn Durrant does when Glenn Durrant is doing his thing. Last start, one dart in hand doubles. If it gets to that point, 2 all-in sets, I think Durrant will do the job.
I don't know. I really do not know. I think
you love Dirk, though.
I just think he's enthralling to watch. I think it's exhilarating darts to watch, and I've got no idea what that game is going to be like. Gerwyn Price versus Mervyn King. This is the one you're really interested in watching, isn't it?
Mervyn King, the most watchable player in darts.
Why is that?
By a mile. Well, he's a very good darts player to start with, but he doesn't leave you guessing what he's thinking, does he? Most of the time he mouths the exact words that he's thinking.
He can be good, he can be brilliant, he can be bad, but you know it's going to be watchable.
Yeah, and in the last match he averaged 103.5, got rid of the Grand Slam champion Jose de Sousa in double quick time, no drama at all. I can guarantee that there will be drama in this match tonight. There will be entertainment, because Gerwyn Price will rile Mervyn King up. Now, will that affect him enough to stop him playing the way that he's been playing? Probably, and Gerwyn Price will probably win.
It's interesting. I do not know, but I mean, Gerwyn Price really did. He was convincing against Brendan Dolan. That brings us to Dave Chisnell versus Dimitri Van den Berg. It's the world number 8 versus the world number 9. Dimitri is just a player transformed. I did ask Dave after his last game. I said, look, do all you guys look at Dimitri differently now? Because the last few months he's gone from being a player with talent and promise, and we've seen him throw big averages on telly, to a guy who's now a major title winner and threatening to win more major titles. Chizzy says no, I just treat him exactly the same way, but it's going to be very difficult to look at him in the same way if he goes and chucks 110 average at you for the first 2-3 sets, which might happen.
I think Chizzy likes to think that he looks at every player the same way, but he's got this horrendous record against Michael van Gerwen, for example. Can't seem to get over that hurdle in big TV events. And maybe in the back of his mind, although he won't realise it because it's not at the front of his mind, Dimitri Van den Berg will be a different force, and he's been playing like a dominant force recently as well, Dimitri Van den Berg. So to finish my answer to the previous question when we saw Dave Chisnell yesterday, I think that he falls at this hurdle.
Okay, it'll be an interesting one. Well, look, that will complete our quarter-final lineup. We know that Gurney is there, along with Bunting and Gary Anderson. Michael van Gerwen and Christoph Ratajski got there last night. But who comes through? Dirk van Duijvenbode versus Glenn Durrant for the right to face Gary Anderson. Gerwyn Price versus Mervyn King. And then the world number 8, Dave Chisnell, against the world number 9 and world match play champion, the Belgian number 1, Dimitri Van den Berg. But we'll leave you with that interview we promised you. It is Gary Anderson, the 2-time winner of the William Hill World Championship, a man who is looking to win a 3rd world title here on January 3rd. And woe betide anybody that tries to slow him down. They're numpties, apparently. Enjoy. Gary, you've got to be delighted with the scoreline. What about the performance?
Dodgy at first, punched a few sets. There was a couple of times I think it was twice I was 2-0 down in the set, and I've nicked it, Devon never scored well. My darts, they look good when I let go, but they don't go where they're going. The last set they started to do what they were supposed to do, so yeah.
It's still not bad going though, reaching the quarterfinals of the William Hill World Championship when you are nowhere near your top level. Not many people can do that.
Must be my luck. It was that lucky dog poo-poo that I stood in. No, listen, I've said it, right? I play darts. I go that if the boy's better than me, I'm still going to play darts against him. Wayne Mardell's comment the other night, what a ticket. If you're playing a player and you need to put him off, slow him down. That's coming from a commentator on Sky. My way of playing darts, you go there. If he hits a ton, you hit a 140. If it's a 140, you hit a 180. Pressure on, try to outscore him, try to outplay him, outfinish him. Now Wayne's telling everyone, if you've got a problem with a player, slow him down or do what you can to put him off. What a numpty. That's absolutely great for television, and it's a great thing to tell kids what to do, isn't it? Proud of you, Wayne.
Well, we didn't see any of that with you and Devon here today. We even got the right tables and everything.
Proper darts. You throw your darts, you try to outbeat the player, beat him with what you've got in your hand. Not all this and all the tactics and whatever Wayne tells you to do. It doesn't fit, does it?
Did that surprise you that Mensah was doing that? Because he's done that before to you though, didn't he?
There's bad and there's bad. Now, come on, you boys. See, this is the thing with you lads, right? You sit and you watch darts. I play darts. I know how everybody plays. I could be playing Brendan Dolan. I know exactly how long he takes. If he wavers from that and does something else, I pick it up. So it just shows you boys don't actually watch and listen and see things that you're supposed to, do you?
Well,
23 seconds before you would throw your first dart. Come on.
I think everybody could see it.
And you've got the boys that are playing that moan about it. Wayne Mardell, Rod Hatton, Mark Webster, they've all played darts. I've seen them kicking off because somebody's done something to them. Right? Now, if they'd been up there playing, they'd have been a hell of a lot worse than what I was. So trust me on that one. Alright, so you can tell them. I've heard their comments. Don't think a lot about them, but it's a great way to tell the public how to play darts. Well done, lads.
Well,
Proud of you.
It'll be an interesting quarter-final for you because you've got either Glenn Durrant, who you've played him before. He's not a quick player, but he's steady. Dirk van Duijvenbode is all over the place.
This is the thing. There's quick and there's slow. You've got slow players, but when they go another 10 seconds longer, come on, lads. And the thing about the table wasn't about the table. Who was on what side? It was where you stand at the table. As soon as I came off after throwing, he was standing with his back to me as I walked up. If you watch any dart game, player walks back. Other players there, you walk around them because I moved. His back is to me towards the dartboard, so now I've got a cut across the hockey. If he turns round to throw, I'm now walking in front of him. That makes me in the wrong. So get all your facts right. Say he's all come out with all these things and do that. Think about what you say before you talk about it. Hey Wayne.
If you do end up playing Dirk, because you don't know who's going to come through, he's a guy who can be very quick and then very slow, and it changes all the time. That's a difficult thing to deal with, isn't it? As a rhythm player.
I tell you what, Dirk's playing well. Who's he playing?
Glenn.
Glenn's been struggling last. I thought he would have struggled against Jason Lowe, because I tell you what, Jason Lowe definitely one to watch out for. But like I say, play darts. It's a game of darts. It's not about how to put somebody off before you actually go up there to play them. Play the boy.
We saw you at the World Match Play. It's kind of similar, where you weren't in great form and you sort of played yourself into form over the course of the tournament, went all the way to the final. Do you feel that could be happening over the
I've
next
got
few
to play.
days?
It's only way I can. I'm up there to play darts. And I've said that, win or lose, I don't care, but I'm up there to try to beat the boy in front of me. If I ever thought for 1 second, slow the game down by 5 seconds and you'll win the World Championships, would I do it? No, I wouldn't. So that makes me the bad person. So I'll play darts how darts are supposed to be played. If nobody likes it, do one. I'm here to play darts. What I've done over the last 20-25 years is play darts. If I can't beat them with my darts, well done lad, all the best in the tournament.
I might get your third world title. Well done today.
Thank you very much.